So we appreciate that. Before we get started, I want to thank a few people. I want to thank our Hall of Fame committee. On the back of the program, it has their names listed there. We want to thank them for the work they put in, going through nominations and also, meeting and helping get this thing going. It's been a joy to be a part of since coming back a few years ago to honor some of our past outstanding athletes and accomplishments that they've done. So thank you to the Hall of Fame committee. I want to thank our tech department. Joseph's back there doing the live streaming, so we appreciate everything that they do to help us pull this off. But my biggest thanks goes to Misty Betty. All of the snacks and the displays out in the commons, she does a lot of work for that. Spends time researching, getting pictures, and putting the tables together. So let's give Misty a round of applause for everything she does. I told someone that anything that looks good around here is because she did it and not me. So if it looks good, it's Misty's. All right. So thank you, Misty, for all the work that you do. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. And the first inductees we're going to induct this evening is the 1989 Class 2A Shuttle Hurdle Relay State Champions. In 1989, these four athletes captured the 2A Shuttle Hurdle Relay State Championship. All four members were exceptional sprinters who applied their speed across various events, but together they came together and were pretty much unstoppable. After first running the event as a team on April 18th at the Jefferson Relays, they went on to win 6 meets. They arrived at the state finals with the fastest qualifying time and proceeded to shatter the school record with a finish of 104.75. In a remarkable display of consistency, every member ran a split of 16.4 seconds or faster in the finals, capped off by a 15.1 second anchor leg to secure the title. Notably, this group's chemistry extended beyond the track, as all four of these young ladies were involved in our 1988 Jeffette girls basketball team the year before that placed third at state. So they were definitely not just single sport athletes. They were multiple sport athletes. The team members of this shuttle hurdle relay team, first off, we have Kathy Proctor Bush. She was the team's anchor whose 15-1 split brought home the state trophy. She also placed 7th individually in the 100-meter hurdles that year. And she has a record in basketball that will never be broken, as she holds the 6-player Iowa basketball state tournament rebounding record. So that will never be broken. So congratulations on that. Forever etched in history in the 6-player tournament. And she went on to play college basketball at Kentucky. She holds 2 HR certifications, the Senior Professional in Human Resources and the Society for Human Resource Management Senior Certified Professional. She's dedicated 18 years to human resources and currently serves as the HR director for 3 Iowa school districts: Sumner Fredericksburg, Tripola, and East Marshall. Kathy lives on a Century Farm near Sumner, Iowa, with her husband Lowell and their 2 sons, Daniel and Jacob, where they raise horses, cattle, hay, corn, and soybeans. The next member of this team is Lana Drake McDonald. After high school, Lana went on to get an undergraduate degree at UNI and later obtained her master's at Viterbo. Lana has turned her passion for helping others into a 31-year career in special education. She began her teaching career in the Des Moines public school system and has spent the last 29 years teaching at Winterset. One of her proudest professional milestones was founding the Best Buddies program at Winterset High School in 2018, which has grown from 6 members to 55, and that program matches regular education classrooms with special education students. Lana has been married to a fellow Jefferson alumnus, Randy McDonald, for 30 years. He just retired from being the athletic director at Winterset, and they live in Winterset and have 4 children, Kylie, Ellie, Marley, and Drake, and they also have 3 grandchildren. Our next member of this illustrious hurdle relay team is Christy Burnell. She currently lives on an acreage just miles from where she grew up in Greene County. After initially pursuing a degree in psychology from Iowa State, she transitioned into nursing, earning her BSN in 2007 and her master's in 2021. She now practices as a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner at St. Anthony Regional Hospital in Carroll. She's a proud mother of 4. Patrick, a junior at Iowa studying health and human physiology on the pre-dental track. Richard, a junior at Grand Canyon University. He's studying exercise science with the hopes of going on to become a physical therapist. And Christopher, who's a senior at Greene County, and he will be attending Mount Mercy to pursue football and studying criminal justice. And she has a daughter, Harper, who is an aspiring hurdler herself, along with being a dance enthusiast, tumbling fanatic, and a babysitter extraordinaire. The 4th member of this team could not be here tonight. That's Christy Kinney Hayes. She's the daughter of the late Dwayne and Vicki Kinney. Her love for athletics led her to a career as a collegiate basketball coach for programs including the University of Iowa and Oklahoma University. She now resides in Cincinnati, Ohio with her husband, Jonathan, and they have 4 children, Jackson, Jillian, Jewett, and Jonah. And she currently serves as the Interclub and Women's Activities Director at the club at Harpers Point Tennis Club. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the 1989 Class 2A State Shuttle Hurdle Relay Team. Kathy Proctor, Lana Drake, Chrissy Burnell, and Christy Kinney to the Greene County Hall of Fame.
Go first. Okay, so my family all gave me clear and specific directions that I only have so long to talk. I do love to talk, and I'm going to try to keep it short. So I just actually want to thank Greene County for this honor and to be welcomed tonight into the Greene County Hall of Fame. I can tell you that after 35 years, I kind of just got a little emotional seeing some teachers. But Jefferson is and always will be my home. I drive into Jefferson from Winterset, and we come as often as we can. My mom is still here. Our in-laws are here. And I love coming back to this community. So it is and always will be very special to me. Funny story, though, just real quick. When I did get the call from Dave, my husband had just received some awards for AD of the year and a couple other things, and I thought, oh great, Randy's getting another award. That was my first thought. So I was really shocked to hear that he wanted to talk to me. It's kind of funny. Just reflecting, as he said, I've been teaching for 31 years in special education, and I think what I realized most is that the power of relationships with students and that words matter. And I had coaches and teachers who believed in me at Jefferson, and I'm so very grateful for that. One teacher here tonight, Pat Gorman, as I knew her then, is the reason that I am a teacher. I would play teacher for hours upon hours, and my name would be Miss Gorman. And I would suck on certs like she used to suck on, and I just really wanted to be her. And I would read my chapter books and cross my legs and just really aspired to be her. So thank you, because you are truly the reason that I am a teacher today. My Jefferson experience, as I said, was just amazing. Coaches, teachers held me to a standard that was high, and they expected me to be at that, and I appreciated that. They demanded my best. So for any teachers that are here tonight, and there are a few I know that I remember from way back in the day, thank you so much. I appreciate all that you have done for me as a student. Just a couple memories that I do want to share as far as teachers and coaches. I saw Mrs. Sawhill when I walked in. We reminisced about one of my core memories in my senior year. I really damaged my ankle in volleyball, and she took me. We had to go to the hospital, and I remember her saying she had never seen a sprain like that before. I still have ankle issues today, and I was on crutches my senior year because of that, and she was just, but she was always there for me and always pushed me, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Mr. Bennett's a coach that I had for track. I still run. I love to run, and I can always hear him saying, "The last one's the best one, Drake." And so whenever I'm running that last lap or that last half a mile home, I think of that in my head tells me that words matter, right? I think the things we say to kids and students, sometimes we don't realize the impact they have. And that's been over 35 years that I've had that in my head. Mr. Simpson, of course, was our hurdle coach. I did not intend to run hurdles in high school, and he said, well, you are. And so let's start practicing. And so, you know, these ladies, along with Coach Simpson, helped me tackle that challenge, and he really believed in me. And then Miss Greene, I want her to know that she would stand on a ladder, a short ladder, and just spike balls at us in volleyball. And I remember having bruises up and down my arms because she just would work us, and I appreciated it. It's not a bad thing, but that's a core memory for me too. And then, of course, Mr. Vanderwelt, who was a really big impact on my life for basketball, and I wore a lot of banana clips. And in a game, my banana clip flew out, and I stopped playing to get my banana clip, and I'll never forget the conversation he had with me about that. These ladies, I do want to thank them. Kathy and Christy are just really important to me. I've loved them since high school. When I see them, so fun. My mom, you showed up every time. You worked hard, and she always showed up for me, and I appreciate that. And so did Faye Wiley, sitting right beside her. So thank you, Greene County School District. It's an honor for me to be here tonight, and it's something that I won't forget and I'll cherish forever. Thank you.
You should have gone last. Here, this is hers. This is hers. Let's keep her up. Okay, Christy and I are going to wish she went last. Yeah, well, I'll try to follow that with my few little scribbles I wrote here. First of all, this wasn't on my list, but just as a slight correction, I actually own 2 state tournament rebounding records that will never be broken for most rebounds in a game and most rebounds in a tournament. So one of those few little claims to fame that someday I hope my sons think are really cool. Woo. I do have to say there's been a few improvements to the high school since I was here last 30-some years ago. It doesn't quite look the same. And then for those of you who know, I guess, where I went to college and who that team's in-state rival is, you'll know it's been a few decades since red and black were my colors. So I had to dig a little deep today to find something to wear. I do want to thank, like Lana, the nomination selection committee, the Hall of Fame committee. This is truly an honor to be selected. Coaches, Dan Bennett, Kelly Simpson, and Mavis Sawhill, from a track perspective, you know, they pushed us to things that we didn't know we were capable of. And, you know, I don't think Coach Simpson is here tonight, but truly a hurdler's coach. And since this award is for our hurdle relay, you know, he made us the best that we could possibly be. I asked Dave and Miss Sawhill about the video that was of our race, and it's gone lost into infamy somewhere. But I just remember Coach Simpson playing that at our athletics award banquet my senior year and talking about the splits and how each of us did our part to win a championship, and something to the effect of that I ran like my pants were on fire because I didn't want to lose. And he was right, because I had one of the fastest hurdlers behind me, in the state of Iowa behind me. Like Lana, my mom, should have made me cry. You were always there. You always showed up, even when it was not easy. My family, my husband, and my 2 sons, that's my true legacy. I'm not usually this emotional.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My sons are my true legacy. It is an honor to be recognized with my teammates. We chased this dream for 4 years. For 4 years, we tried to get there. 3 of my 4 years, the shuttle hurdle relay team made it to state, and we finally got it done my last year, which is probably why I ran like my pants were on fire. And it is truly one of the highlights of my high school career to cross that finish line first. these guys each had their role. It was very important, but truly one of the highlights of my career. And then the next day we graduated, and that was it. But I have a story too, a little bit, and I could go through the list. Miss Gorman, I've talked to you before about your impact on my life. Miss Greene, Miss Sawhill, and the other teachers that are here, Mr. Vanderwelt. But one of my favorite stories in regards to sports and high school is in regards to our guidance counselor, Bill Lindbergh. And in the old high school, which didn't look like this one, in between the athletic department office and the guidance council office was 2 black boards with little white letters that you could move around. And one was for school records in track, and one was for state champions in track. And I remember the first time we broke the school record for the shuttle hurdle relay, and I said to Mr. Lindbergh, I'm like, hey, I made it up here, because if you know Bill, he was always giving people a hard time. And he's like, yeah, Kathy, but it's not permanent until it's on the other one. And so unfortunately, I never got to tell Bill that I made it to the other. Well, I mean, he knew, but obviously we were done with high school at that point. And so I guess for him, I will say at least now that we know it's permanent, since those boards probably don't exist anymore. But thank you very much. It truly is an honor to be able to come back and relive a lot of the memories, to see some friends, to hear about the accomplishments of the other nominees and selection. I don't even know the right words for this, but certainly has been a pleasure, and thank you very much.
Okay, I'm Christy Burnell. I don't have any paper, I don't have a phone, so I'm a little lost. But I do want to thank everyone for the induction. Sports in high school, it was my life. They started it. I was an only child, so I didn't get to say that a lot. But yeah, but yes, every coach, every teacher just really impacts the way that you pursue your dreams, you pursue your life. We ran great together. We had fun together. We had goals together. And it wasn't just track. It was, like they said, basketball, playing 6-on-6. I mean, it was fantastic. A lot of people say, well, that's not real basketball. It was. We got hurt. We hurt others. It was fun. And we made baskets and, all that stuff. I was a guard at 5'5". Oh, yeah, we were. I do remember Mr. Vanderbilt. He had this trick play that he would scream at me to get the attention of the forward to him, so then I could make a basket, because I think I played 1 or 2 on the forward side, and it worked because everybody thought he was so mad at me, because I thought he was mad at me, but he's like, Christy, no, this is what we're doing. So that was always one of those core memories. But I love sports. I love what they bring to people's lives. It just instills that you need to lean on others, trust others, be able to communicate your clear goals and function as one when you're a team. So I thank everyone and have a good night.
Our next inductee is an individual, Jeremy Thompson. He is the 1998 graduate of Jefferson Scranton, and while Jeremy was an all-around elite athlete competing at a high level in football and basketball, it was on the baseball diamond where he left his biggest mark. As a pitcher and first baseman, Jeremy's 1998 season was one for the history books. He carried a 1.66 ERA on the mound and helped lead the Rams all the way to the state tournament semifinals. At the plate, he was even more dominant, having a .412 average with 43 RBI and 13 home runs in his senior year alone. His power was unmatched. He once homered in 5 consecutive games, and he still stands alone as a school record holder for both single-season home runs and career home runs with 23. Since leaving our halls, Jeremy has built a distinguished career. He joined Pioneer Hybrid out of college, which is now Corteva Agriscience, and has risen through the ranks in operations and sales, even serving as general manager for Hogemeyer Hybrids for a time, and today he's the director of North America supply chain. Most importantly, Jeremy is a family man. He's his wife, Lindsay, and their 5 children, Nora, Allie, Ava, Trey, and Kingston. They now reside in Urbandale, and even though that's where they live, his legacy as one of the greatest power hitters to ever wear a Ram jersey remains firmly planted here. Let's welcome Jeremy Thompson to the Greene County Athletic Hall of Fame.
Well, I know what my wife is thinking. She's thinking at least he's not going to be the first one that cries up there tonight. So thank you.
You're welcome.
No, thank you to the committee. This is a big honor, and congratulations to my fellow inductees. It's truly a privilege to be recognized like this. But I'll tell you what's been more meaningful is the time to reflect on just the memories with classmates and teammates and coaches. As I've reflected on this honor, I want to begin by thanking and recognizing my parents. To grow up and know that your parents are proud of you and love you means a lot. But I only have 5 minutes, so I'm going to move on. My siblings, some of which couldn't be here. I'll start with my brother Sean. I think he had shoulder surgery about a year ago, and I think it's because of all the batting practice he threw us in the backyard with tennis balls that I really attribute a lot of this to. Peter and Joshua for the support. 1997, we were 1/3 of the starting lineup for a pretty good baseball team, and that was pretty special. And then to my sisters as well, particularly Sarah, and all the books she was able to get through while attending my sporting events. As I reflect on the time competing in high school and growing up in Jefferson, I'm truly reminded of how fortunate we were for that experience. And I think you'll hear that theme here tonight. When Doug called and said that he was going to nominate me, it reminded me of several years before that when he called and said, hey, can I stop by the house? I have some news for you. He stopped by in summer of '98 to tell me that I was selected first team All-State that year. And it made me wonder, why you could just call and tell me this, Doug. But Doug is so passionate about youth sports and local sports, and so I want to recognize you, Doug, and how much that means to kids. Maybe I was the only kid, but I went home every Friday to read the Herald to see what Doug had written about me, and to see if that dunk from the week before made the article, or the home run, or a few tackles. And maybe I was the only one, but that really makes a kid feel good, Doug. Watching the Ram wrap-up show on Wednesday nights, and you and Joe Gitch, boy, you'd think it was the college playoffs with how excited you guys got. And again, making us feel like we were a big deal. That was really special and a really true experience that I appreciated about growing up here. Far too many teachers and coaches and community members that would recognize that I can recognize here, but I do want to highlight a couple people, particularly teachers and coaches, and how much it means as a kid to be surrounded by people that believe in you, and that maybe see potential that you don't, and will push you to that. And I think Lana mentioned earlier holding you to a standard. He and I kind of joke about it now, but I remember 5th grade, my teacher, Mr. Sawhill, I think he corrected me on something, and he wasn't real impressed with the nonverbals that I was communicating afterwards. And so I'll never forget him sitting at his desk, and wipe that smirk off your face. If I called your dad right now and I told him how you were acting, what do you think he would say? Well, Coach, you probably remember the smile went away really quick, and yeah, that got my attention. And that was a few years ago, and I remember it like it was yesterday. But I appreciate him holding us to a standard. Another moment I do want to highlight: my senior year, we'd finished a preseason baseball practice, and Coach Sawhill and Coach Hendrich pulled me aside. I didn't know quite what for. But they weren't real impressed with my effort, and just had a heart-to-heart and just said, so what's going on? You're kind of lollygagging here. We need you to be a leader on this team, and asked me what's going on. And of course, I had no way to answer that, but it hit me because they were right. And I remember the question that really stuck with me was, do you even know how good you can be? And this is before the season started. And I tell you, that flipped a switch in me. In that conversation, I believe propelled me on to have the senior year that I had. It helped me focus. And again, having individuals that held you to a standard and saw things in you that maybe I didn't even see. So later on that year, we went on to knock off number 2, Carol Kemper, in the second round of districts, went on to state, and probably achieved some things that very few expected, if anybody expected of that team. And I believe that doesn't happen without being holding all of us to that standard and that expectation. So thank you for that. But that sticks with me even today, of just not putting limits on what I'm capable of as a worker, as a father, as a husband. And so if you're picking up anything from this, teachers, coaches, you may not always see the impact that you're having in the moment. And again, coaches, I don't even know if you remember that conversation. I'm curious, do you guys remember that? Jim saying he does. But you may not even realize it in the moment, but you guys have such an impact. And so thank you to the coaches, the teachers that are here. What you do is truly a gift, and thank you for that. So, again, I just want to reflect on the time that growing up in Jefferson, really, really special. Lana mentioned it. This is always a special place for me as well, and it was just such a privilege, and I hope my own kids, Nora, Allie, Ava, Trey, and Kingston, have that same opportunity. I don't think I've mentioned her other than as a joke, but my wife, Lindsay, thank you guys for being here. You guys could have been a little bit louder when they introduced my name, but we'll work on that. So with that, thank you again, and go Rams.
Our next inductee is actually a classmate of Jeremy Thompson. Bob Allen is also a 1998 graduate of Jefferson Scranton. He was a force of nature on the football field, earning first-team All-State honors as an offensive lineman and second-team honors as a linebacker in 1997. That's a rare feat to be honored on 2 All-State teams on different sides of the ball. During his junior year, he was a second-team All-State selection in 1996, and to this day, he holds the single game most tackles with an incredible 23 tackle performance against Carroll. And so, by the way, when I heard you say you guys beat Carroll Kemper, that's good stuff. And when you do it against Carroll, that's 2 of the best guys right there, ladies and gentlemen. Bob's impact on the football field continued on at Waldorf College, where he continued his playing career. But his impact on our community has been even greater than his impact on the field. After a 22-year career in banking, he now serves as the president and CEO of Home State Bank here in Jefferson. He spent 12 years coaching youth sports and 6 years as a volunteer coach for the Ram varsity football program. And his list of civic involvements is extensive, from Greene County Gaming Corporation and the Fair Board to Kiwanis Club and the Medical Center Finance Committee, and the list goes on. Bob lives on his family farm near Sheridan, where he remains active in the family farming operation, like he has time for that. And he's here tonight. He's got his wife, Bridget, his children, Lizzie, Cody, and Paisley, along with his son-in-law, Caleb, and his grandson, Coulter. And Bob, we thank you for your years of service and leadership in our community. And personally, for me personally, if there's a Hall of Fame for a great human being, Bob Allen would be in it. So congratulations. Let's welcome Bob Allen to the Greene County Athletic Hall of Fame. By the way, you might want to sit back, and he's cut his 27-minute speech down, he said.
It's actually 37, so get comfortable. No, I trimmed it down. I got my wife doing this already. Well, thank you, everybody. Gosh, this is quite an honor. This is pretty humbling, and just to be on the same stage as these unbelievable high school athletes here and unbelievable people, too, this is pretty cool. So, when Doug and Dave first called me, I'm like, I played football in the 90s. I don't even know if we kept stats back then or not. So I don't have anything. And then guys like me, the only stats I have are like, how much could you bench press or how many pizzas could you eat at the buffet later on. So I'm like, I don't know what I can bring to it. But anyways, what I thought is there's a lot of experiences, a lot of things that I learned from high school athletics and high school sports, specifically football, and that I still use in this today. So what I thought I'd do is I kind of put up some bullet points. I trimmed this down quite a bit, so I'm going to hit the highlights here so you can get out of here before midnight tonight. But anyways, the first thing is be humble and hungry. My senior class, we just a great bunch of dudes. I'm so honored to go into this Hall of Fame with this class with classmate of mine and teammate Jeremy Thompson. Just what a great dude. But we had 26 guys in our high school senior team, and they were just all a bunch of great guys, and how they showed up to work and prepared to and expected to win, and then also too just what they what they did every day, high character and high integrity people. Number two is things don't always go the way it's planned, and that was our senior season. We were 5-4. Those 4 games we lost by a total of 15 points, and they're all like last minute losses too, so it was pretty painful. And but at the time, and not realizing it now, I realize, what great life lessons that was during that time frame, because, things don't always go as planned. And today in my office at the bank, I got a sign that says everything's figure-outable, and that's a mindset that I created a long time ago. And I know I work with a lot of people today with the same mindset, because things don't go as planned, and you just got to figure them out, and that's what that's all about. The other thing, too, is painful as adversity that you go through, learning from that and going through other adversity as you go through life, too, adversity will make you break, or adversity will make you great. And so those are some really great lessons to take from that time frame. Up next, number 3 is start and have healthy habits. I'll never forget in the walls of the school 32 years ago, T-ball saying, "Hey, animal, when I'm going to see you in the weight room. Hey, animal, when I'm going to see you in the weight room. Hey, animal." He called everybody animal, too, not just me. "Hey, animal, when am I going to see you in the weight room?" You guys remember that, right? Yeah. But, he got me in the weight room, started lifting weights. And, for 32 years, I still work out 2 to 3 times a week. And T-ball, if you're out there listening somewhere, I still got the salmon-colored, card stock that's, bench press, incline, and curls and stuff like that. But my point is that no matter what it is in life, is develop a process, stick to it, and be consistent about creating those behaviors that turn into habits, and it really turns into a culture for your life, your work, and your family life, whatever it may be. Up next, how you do anything is how you do everything. I learned that from Coach Kibbe. I was pulling out here to the high school, and I see Coach Kibbe out mowing the lawn, right? I mean, Coach, he would do everything, but he was mowing the lawns, and not only what he did on the gridiron for a lot of young men and the power, influence, and the impact that he had, it was amazing to me, and I thought it was really cool on what he did, taking girls' state track teams and bring home state titles. So, a lot of times you don't see that. You see a lot of coaches that are really master of their craft in their one sport. Well, Coach Kibbe was a master in his craft and in coaching and influencing young people, and so just being around him was such a great experience. Today in my office at the bank, I've got a Kevin Richards sketching of Coach Kibbe, and it's a nice reminder for me every day on how do I need to show up. And there's one thing common. I talked to a lot of people that either played for Coach Kibbe, whether here in JSPC or up at St. Edmund too. And there's one common thing you always hear from them is that you never want to disappoint Coach Kibbe. And I think that's true. So that's why I have that reminder in my office every single day that I come to work. And up next, surround yourself with great people. You know, when you think about, I think about Coach Kibbe, but man, he had an awesome supporting cast with coaches. You know, guys like Coach Wright, Coach Sawhill. You were such an important person in my life. I go on and on here right now, but I just appreciate everything you did. One thing I'll never forget, you grabbed my face mask or you put your finger in my chest and you said, Bob, you can be the nicest guy in this community, but for that 4 to 6 seconds during the play, I need you to hit those people and make snot bubbles come out of their nose. And I'll never forget that. I called out the light switch, and you're right. You know, you can be a nice guy and be a good teammate and be a good competitor too, but during that play, you got to be the meanest guy around. And I appreciate that. Coach Turpin, he was such an awesome defensive guy. Coach Powers, Coach Stein, I can keep going on and on, but I just appreciate all that you guys ever did for me, even to this day too. And so on the same lines, the same philosophy is surround yourself with good people. You know, Sid Jones, I know you're watching upstairs here sometime here tonight, listening in, but, you know, just a great mentor of mine. And the people I have at work at Home State Bank today, we have a very successful team, and it's just because they're all really good. You know, I'm sitting in the room. I'm not the smartest person in the room, and I never will be the smartest person in the room. I got the greatest work teammates that anybody could ever ask for. And they do all the work. If you ask them, they'll tell you they do all the work. They don't know what I do. But they're just the greatest teammates that anyone could ask for. And probably most importantly, you know, I've just been blessed in my life to be around some great people. And it starts with my parents, my grandparents, and my wife, my 3 kids, my son-in-law, and now my grandson. You know, you guys and my nieces and nephews and siblings, I got the best supporting cast, and you guys are my foundation. And we all know you can't build anything, whether it's a building structure or anything in your life, without a good, solid foundation. And I had that, and I've been very grateful for that. And then up next too, the next thing that I got to check my list. So what's kind of unique, Coach Wright talked about this, is that I had a kind of a second part of my football life from a player. I got an opportunity to be a coach, and I had the opportunity to be a player and coach in over 200 football games, all at different levels, but just what a cool experience. And I couldn't ask for anything more than that. You know, when I first got into coaching, I had people ask me, hey, Bob, you just trying to relive your glory days or something like that? And I'm like, hell no. I've had 5 knee surgeries. I've had back surgery. I've had brain surgery from a farm accident. I've torn hamstring and all a bunch of other types of bumps, bruises. Like, no, I'm doing this because I just love coaching. I love kids. And I tell you what, if you guys notice here tonight, we got 3 of them back here right now in old Rams jersey. You guys know that I love that you showed up like that too. We just had some great experiences and great times on the football field. You know, when I had the opportunity to coach defensive line guys, I told them there's the 3 E's that you can show up every day. These are things that you can control. It doesn't take talent or it doesn't take anything else, and that's energy, enthusiasm, and effort. And you do those things. You show up to practice. You show up to the game on Friday night. You show up to your classroom. You show up to a community event. And someday when you go to work, you show up to work like that too. Everything's going to be all right. So I appreciate you guys allowing me to coach like that. I know I needed to dial it back a few times, and I appreciate all the fun that we had and for accepting me for the coach that I was too. So I really appreciate that. One really quick moment, my favorite of all the moments at Lindesco Field, probably my favorite moment at all was my son Cody. I had an opportunity to coach his senior year, and unfortunately, I know Cody, your senior year ended not the way you wanted to. But I've been around a lot of people, and I'm not saying this because you're your son, but you carried the Ram spirit like not too many other people do. It was pretty unbelievable what you did. But you tore your ACL, MCL, meniscus, cartilage, and I appreciate Coach Duncan allowing Cody to come in and snap the ball and snap the ball to Jack Hansen, a guy that I helped coach since he could walk, and Nathan Bainey was the kicker, and they're in the record books for the 49-yard field goal that I think is going to stand for a long time. So how cool is that for your guys' last play or Cody, for your last play to end up in the record books? That's pretty darn cool. So with all that said, I just wanted to thank everybody, and And one last quick story too about coaching is that y'all remember those polyester coachy shorts, the short ones. Yeah, Coach Senior Duncan, him and I showed up to practice last year, and we thought it'd be a great idea. We got these shorts and we got long daddy socks, and they're from the 70s and 80s, right? So we showed the practice, and of course the guys, the kids loved it and stuff like that. But it got a little awkward when we were picking up the footballs. But the other coaches thought we were a little had a couple screws loose. But anyways, I thought about wearing them tonight to represent, but my wife was like a hard no. Plus it's a little chilly out. So, but anyways, so like I said, I'm just gonna recap: be humble and hungry. Things don't always go your way. Develop consistent positive habits. How you do anything is how you do everything. Surround yourself with good people. And remember, it's always about others and not yourself. So with that said, sorry for talking so long. I'm getting a little hungry. I'm going to eat some pizza afterwards here to relive those days a little bit. But go Rams.
Our next inductee tonight, I'm really excited to have him inducted into our Hall of Fame, as he represents a newer era of Ram athletics, but one that is no less historic. Junior Gutierrez is a class of 2020, was the spark that ignited our soccer program. In 2019, during the program's second year of existence, Junior led the Rams to the state tournament. His statistics that year were simply staggering. He led the entire state of Iowa with 55 goals and 123 points. In just 2 short seasons, he amassed 74 goals and 162 points, totals that most players wouldn't reach in 4 years. Though the pandemic unfortunately cost him his senior season, his impact on the sport in this community was already cemented. Junior is the son of Alfonso Gutierrez and Dilcia Aguilar. The Gutierrez name is a legendary one in our soccer circles. His brother Hesser currently holds the record as our all-time leading scorer. Junior continues to pursue his passion for the game, playing semi-professionally for the Iowa Chargers out of the Des Moines area, and he competes in high-level tournaments across the Midwest. A resident of Jefferson, Junior works as a dispatcher for Cornstalk Acres LLC. We are proud to welcome him home tonight and take his rightful place among the greats. Let's welcome Junior Gutierrez to the Greene County Athletic Hall of Fame. Congratulations,
sir. I have a language barrier, so I'm not going to talk much. But this is a good space for me to say how grateful I am with the Greene County community. I have a journey. I moved here a few years ago. I couldn't speak any English. I didn't know anybody. It was a tough time. But I moved to this beautiful town with such a nice people that really helped me. I want to say thank you to all the teachers for being patient and teaching me the language. It was hard, translating some stuff so I can understand. I was kind of extra work for the teacher, I'm sorry, but thank you so much. And I'm so proud and excited about this moment. It's a huge recognition for me. And being the first soccer boy for the Greene County Hall of Fame High School, it's huge. I want to say thank you to my teammates. Soccer was a nice way to have friends here, to know a lot of my teammates. Now they're friends. I talk every day to a lot of my ex-teammates, and I'm so happy, and I'm glad that I can call this beautiful town home now. And thank you so much. I won't talk much.
The last group we're going to induct tonight is the 1994 Class 2A Girls 4x100 meter relay state champions. They were a central part of the squad that captured the Class 2A state championship, team championship that year as well, and that team as a whole has been inducted into the Greene County Athletic Hall of Fame. These 4 athletes were versatile competitors who consistently pushed themselves, often running back-to-back events to build the physical and mental toughness required for a championship run. First competing together on April 18th, there's a theme there, because as according to Coach Mavis Sawhill, the shuttle hurdle team first competed on April 18th in 1989, and this 4x1 team first competed on April 18th in 1994. So tracksters, if you want to put together a state championship, tell your coaches April 18th is when the first time you should compete together. But they went on to win the event at 6 different meets throughout the season. They set a meet record at the Jeffet Relays with 53.6 and a conference record of 51.6. At the state meet, they broke the school record twice, once in the prelims with a time of 50.38, and again in the finals where they overcame a bad handoff to secure the state title. I happen to know which 2 had the bad handoff, but I will not disclose that information this evening. As was mentioned, the team went on to help lead the team, the entire team, to the state championship that year for Jefferson Scranton's only state championship team. The team members included Allison Drury, who could not be here tonight. She made her name for herself on the track, also winning the 100-meter dash at both the Drake Relays and the state meet in 1994. She was previously inducted into the Greene County Athletic Hall of Fame as an individual in 2023. She's the daughter of Noel and Sandy Drury, and she currently lives between Jefferson and Boston, working as a director at Delaware Life, and she is out in Boston this weekend, so she couldn't be here this evening. The next member of this team was Missy Walterman Walker. Missy's endurance was a key asset to the team. Immediately following the 4x1, she served as the anchor for the 4x400 relay. In her career since she has left the halls of Jefferson Scranton, she spent 24 years teaching Spanish at Pella High School and now serves as an instructional coach and an adjunct instructor for Central College. Missy lives in Cedar, Iowa, with her husband Aaron, who himself was a former Ram cross-country and track athlete. And they have 4 children, Elena, Sage, Malia, and AJ. The next member of the team is Deisha Gashawn Reynolds. Deisha's pure speed was a vital component of the Jeffet's success across numerous sprint events and relays. Since she's left the halls of Jefferson Scranton, for the past 20 years, she has worked at Pella Corporation in finance and HR, and she is currently their payroll manager. Deisha and her husband of 25 years, Steve, live in Pella and have 4 children, Brenna, Megan, Tyler, and Delaney, and 1 grandchild, Kinsley. And the 4th member of this outstanding relay team is Brandy Monarchy Peterson. Brandy was a true utility athlete. She competed in the grueling 400-meter hurdles, just events before taking the track for the 4x1. She, in her professional career, has dedicated 20 years to coaching track and field and is currently the head boys and girls coach for Chisago Lakes High School in Minnesota. They live in Lindstrom, Minnesota, and her husband Brady and their 2 sons, Hank and Brooks, who both are active in athletics, including hockey and swimming and track and field. And athletics continue to be a passion of hers as she advocates for youth athletic opportunities. And Brandy is also a member of the Luther College Hall of Fame and was an NCAA Division III All-American in track and field for her college career. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the 1994 4x100 meter relay champions to the Greene County Athletic Hall of Fame.
All right, we're going to team up a little bit here. So I'm Brandy Monarchy Peterson, and as Dave said, I have spent most of my adult life coaching and being around sports and just thoroughly enjoying coming. I love that my nephew is cheering for me up there. This community just brings out the best in so many people, so many different ways. So thank you to our families. Doug Rader, I'm going to give you a shout out too, but Missy's going to cover the thank yous in a minute. So I just wanted to go through a few life lessons from track and field that I came up with. Number one, you're never going to be a success if you don't know which direction you're going. It's just pretty basic. Keep your head up. It's good biomechanics. A positive attitude is a must, and it could save your life at the throws rings. Win, win, win. Yes. You can be a championship team, a championship relay, or a championship individual, but none of it matters if you don't show up ready to be your best every single day. And that is something that I think we can repeat over and over on the teams and with the coaches and the teammates we had in this community. We all showed up every day to be our best and bring out the best in each other. If at first you don't succeed, try another 5, maybe 10 events. Eventually something's going to click. So in track and field, it's pretty great that we have opportunities that maybe we start out as a sprinter and we think, oh, okay, well, try some hurdles because Allison beat us at everything. So we'd go to hurdles or we'd go to jumps, and we had the coaches that taught us the right, not only the right attitude, but the skills and everything that we needed to put together a great team. Find the people in your life who encourage you, challenge you, support you, and never stop daring you to be who you are. Case in point, teammates Jesse Betts and Paige Thompson dared me to wear my letter jacket, which is on my chair over there, and they didn't have to dare me because I am proud to wear that thing every time. So I love the fact that we were Jeffettes and that we still stay in touch and support each other to this day. 6, braiding hair on the bus is not a fashion statement. It's pre-meet transportation therapy, and it is beautiful. As a coach, I can say the unsung heroes on any girls team are the teammates that will sit there, braid your hair on an hour-long trip, and then they bop around to different seats. And right now, when I coach, it is fantastic because those teammates will calm their teammates down. They help them look their best, but they will sit there and listen and talk, and it's a pretty fun thing to witness. When you're in the starting blocks, which Missy was our starter, it's definitely a parallel to just in general that you need to listen carefully to words. You need to control your reactions to the noise around you and aim to finish every challenge in the strongest way possible. And finally, own your mistakes, learn from your mistakes, and know it's okay to laugh at your mistakes. My worst meet, I false started in one race and ran out of the exchange zone in a relay. And we would, in the times before a meet, write down our goals. And then our coaches would respond to the goals. And the next time I looked at the goals I had written for that meet, next to the goals, Coach Sahil's response was, "You must have been hungry for ice cream because that's a lot of DQ." And I to this day tell athletes that story that are upset in a meet. I say, you know what, it's going to happen. You're going to have mistakes, and I'll tell them that story, and it gets a smile out of them in a bad moment every time. So being able to own up and just laugh it off is a beautiful thing sometimes. So I'm going to let Missy take over now.
So it started in 7th grade with Roger Olhausen. He would give us our note cards, and we would have our little workouts on our note cards, and off we would go, and he would hold us accountable to our workouts on our note cards. Then in 8th grade, we had Teresa Greene. She was our 8th grade coach, and I don't remember losing many meets in middle school, thanks to Roger and Teresa. And then, of course, we had Mavis Sahil and Kelly Simpson, and they motivated us, inspired us, and they made us work hard, but somehow kept a really hard sport fun. So they were a lot of fun to work with. So thank you to our coaches.
Tim Buns. Yes. Oh, and Tim Buns for Chris for sure. I had probably my favorite spot in the house. I was the sophomore on the team, so I just got to go, and we walk up here and Brandy says, "Disha, stand there." Okay. I'm still 2 years younger. I do what I'm told, but it was so much fun. So yes, a lot of encouragement, a lot of structure and workouts, and they were tough, but it was so fun. So that's just, in listening to everybody, it's just so cool to reminisce and think about the same people that impacted so many people. And as was said, you just never know what really impacts someone, the words that you say and the things that we remember. So thank you so much. Thank you for this honor. Appreciate it very much. what a great night, and congratulations to all of you.
I want to say one more thing.
Oh, sorry, Brandy's not done. I'll stand back.
Brandy's got one more thing to say. I just wanted to say the 1989 shuttle hurdle relay, their picture was in the trophy case at the old high school. So I wanted to thank you guys especially because your accomplishments inspired our goals. And so it's really cool to be on the same stage as you guys tonight too. So, all right, now thank you.
Once again, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight and honoring these great human beings and representatives of our school. And it's been a fun evening. It's always a great evening. Just a couple of housekeeping things before we release you tonight. There's still cookies and crackers and dip out there, so please help yourself on your way out. You can hang around and linger and visit and eat cookies and crackers. I know Bob wants to go eat pizza, but so yeah, Bob, you're all invited, right? So yeah, make sure you do that. I want to thank everyone for coming out. We are going to make a change for next year, just so everybody's with our Hall of Fame. We're going to move the ceremony and the induction to the fall, so be looking for that. So there's going to be a pretty quick turnaround this spring of nominations and coming up with our next inductees. So that's just a little change we're going to make. You know, with the weather, sometimes it's questionable in January and February, so we're going to try to move it to the fall where hopefully the weather will be a little bit nicer and we won't have to worry about that. So if you have someone that you would like to nominate, we do have a list of criteria. You can get a nomination form from the activities office or see one of the members of the committee. So we encourage people, if there's people that are honorable, and we want to make sure we get everyone that meets the criteria an opportunity. So with that, to our inductees, we do want to take a couple pictures. I know Doug would like a picture, and I'd like to have a picture of everybody together. So families, you can feel free to take pictures up here on the stage as you would like as well. Like I said, we're in no hurry to get home, and just enjoy the evening. So thank you for coming, and like they said, go Rams.